introduction. Some point in time, I was wondering who is the subject, but fortunately, I so happen to be. Well, to Severide Dixon, a man who needs no introduction, Mr. Grant, or educational officer, Miss Williams, principal of Woburn, Mrs. Dawkins, principal of Minto, Miss Brown, principal of Bethel Gap, Mrs. Chung, representative of the Office of the Public Defender, Miss Finicky, JAS, and Pastor McCullough from that of SCD, parents, students, teachers, media, welcome. It is no secret, being in this area is my second time, and I was acting as though I was certain of the route, so certain that I had to turn back because I missed the track. But nevertheless, it's a great pleasure having to be in this area. In fact, this part of Nest Castle, for the first time. Bethel Gap is where, further up the square where I was the last time. Nevertheless, the theme committed to community development through partnership. And it is with understanding that I've learned through Miss Williams, the principal of Woburn, that there is a plot of land or a parcel of land that the school is preparing and that is requiring, some items to be planted on the school, on that parcel of land. Well, we are in that, and we will most definitely move to support the schools. We were at the Bethel Gap Church a few months ago when I met the schools, and just by the representation of the children, I was so moved, along with the members of JACRA management team, of which Mr. Patrick Peterson, Senior Director Coffee, he was present at the time, and we agreed that, look, we just got to help these schools to further excel, not only in their community contribution, but as a coffee developing area, that we must seek to reach the community. And another way of reaching the community is through the schools. So we agreed to partner with the schools through that of monetary contributions to assist in whatever innovative ways that the schools have to go. On this another special day in the life of JACRA, and particularly coffee in the Bethel Gap region. Over the years, we've seen this coffee producing region, and it's not just in any coffee, but our beloved specialty coffee, Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee. Many of our farmers in this area have come from, generational tradition, where either your parents, your grandparents, or other family members have passed along this rich heritage in planting and growing Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee. Well, today we have of our schools and the role that our school play in shaping the communities, especially Nest Castle. JACRA does not support, and let me just say it, JACRA does not support child labor. However, today we cannot overlook the assistance of our children and the role that they play in terms of helping their family members to prepare the beans, and the joy and enthusiasm that they enjoy from the activity. The business of coffee has been one of from our ancestors, and that have passed down to us as a legacy for us to continue. With that being said, we're poised to introduce to the community at a tender age through the schools, which is why we're here. We note, for example, that when a rich man, and we can use one who have passed, but Stuart, when before he died or while he was on earth, he had introduced the business to his son, and we see how he has passed on that to his son, and it comes for greater input and value. This is exactly why we're here, because the input from our children is not only a value addition, but it goes further rather, and further down the field. For example, how many parents are here today? Put your hands up. There you go. How many of you have your cell phones and could not navigate certain features of it, but you have passed it to your children and they have navigated? That's what I'm talking about. It is through that level of innovative mind, the young minds, that our children have these days, that it is so far reaching. Let's juxtapose that to value addition in coffee. Well, today we see that we have coffee scrubs, coffee bath soap, huh? Yes, man. Coffee deodorant, coffee soap, the nutraceutical products in coffee. Huh? I was sitting there moments ago, and it just came back to my mind that I leave it. You know what I left? Because I wanted to show you a product that I picked up in a store yesterday abroad. It says coffee hair oil. Coffee hair oil. No, hear this now. Mr. Peterson made a point, and he says that we have to be policemen over the coffee. Yes, because Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee is protected in over 60 countries, where we have attorneys across the world who, police our trademark, because everybody wants a piece of Jamaica, but nobody is prepared to put in the work. Everybody wants to claim that their products are Jamaican made, but none no go so, because they just put a label on it and call it what? Jamaican. So in order to secure the Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee, we have to take the initiative and put a trademark on that. And that provides us with the assurance that when we see our products in China, in Japan, in Australia, or even in the US, Canada, if you may, then we can have someone go check out this for me. And then now they can tell us that, yes, this is an authentic Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee product. With that being said, if we introduce coffee planting and growing to our children, they have the vigor, they have the vitality, they have the strength. In other words, they have the energy, they have the know-how that they would seek the necessary help, whether it is through JACRA, through our sister company, RADA, or to any other organization. What we organization under the Ministry of Agriculture and even the Ministry of Business. I call the Minister Hill, the Minister of Business, because he comes in at a very unique place in assisting the commodities. With that being said, our children are set at a position that they're better able to help us with the marketing strategies that we now need to take the coffee business further. Another point of interest is that we learn that there is a system that is coming into play, and that will come on December 31, 2024. This, if we're not careful, would see us in a disadvantaged position, because this is coming from the European Union. Have created a policy, and they've now referred to that policy as the deforestation policy. Everybody know what deforestation is. Now, what they're now saying is that they will not trade with countries that practice deforestation. Jamaica is now in a position that we now have to make sure and make ready that we are in keeping with these provisions, because we have our cocoa, we have our coffee, we have our pimento, we have all these other commodities, etc., which we must protect and protect dear to our hearts. And as I close, I want to encourage us as the coffee industry, and that's where we are today in this coffee region and commodity and communities rather. We acknowledge the Woburn Lawn, Minto, and the Bethel Gap Basic School. Yes, put your hands together for them. I understand from the educational officer, Mr. Grant, that there are other schools in the area that he would introduce to us to partner with. JACRA is open, and we are prepared to partner with any school who wants to create, who has a piece of land, and that you want to put, be it coffee, cocoa, pimento, turmeric, ginger, or even nutmeg on those parcels of land. We stand ready to give you those seedlings. Not only the seedlings, but JACRA will ensure that you have fertilizer as well as the necessary chemical inputs to ensure that those commodities grows into fruition, and you can reap the benefit of them through the schools. Now, with that being said, I want to. Last time I was in Bethel Gap, we offered some goodies, and now we're in Netscastle, correct? Yeah, Netscastle. We want to be able to add some other things to it. So if the schools, and we have 3 schools here, if the schools, and Sir Educational Officer, you can take a little bit further, to plant pimento, we will make it ready. If the school can accommodate 50 seedlings, we're prepared to give 50 seedlings to each schools, as long as they can accommodate the seedlings. Look, yes, it's worthy of putting your hands together. Let me tell you why pimento. Early on this month, we traveled to India, and we have that of a regulatory framework that is currently being developed around pimento. Pimento, Jamaica local, our pimento, real Jamaican pimento has a value. Real Jamaican pimento has a value on the international market. Real Jamaican pimento. You notice, I'm stressing the real, because there are other pimentos, and everybody wants to claim that this is Jamaican pimento, but it's fake pimento. So allow me to say, real Jamaican pimento has a high value on the commodity market. Look, the value of it is so great that we had to step in and to put a restriction in there, so that farmers don't cut down the pimento trees to sell the pimento wood. And we had to stop that. But the pimento beans, the pimento leaves, and the pimento bark of it catches a very high price on the market. When you see countries like India, countries like the US, country like Canada, all sat with us at a recent meeting where I so happen to represent Jamaica in India, sat with us just to ensure that the specifics, no other country carry the specifics and the oil fragrance like Jamaica pimento. The same can be said for our cocoa as well, because we represented the island in Madagascar in Africa last year, myself and the senior director of coffee, and we went into that we went into that mood in Madagascar last year in June. We had to defend our fine flavor status. At the end of the day, based on that meeting in Madagascar, only 10 countries left that session with 100% fine flavor coffee status. Jamaica was only one of 10 countries that have left that session with fine flavor status. I tell you about Jamaican products and Jamaican commodities. So when others are playing the game, Jamaica is producing. These are strong gains that under the auspices of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, under that of our working and hard-working mandate, that agriculture must increase and agriculture must take precedence in order for economical growth, development, and achievement. We also acknowledge the recent commitment of the minister, and those of us who were at UTEC, those of us who listened to the minister quite well. The minister said that he has given JACRA certain instructions. That's true. The minister had indeed met and give us a few words. And today, I will not preempt the minister, but I will say to us, the coffee farmers, I will say to the cocoa farmers, I will say to the pimento farmers, I will say to the nutmeg farmers, the ginger and the piment and the ginger and the turmeric farmers, that your minister, our minister, will give you the final update as to exactly where we are on these commodities. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority, the pleasure is ours to partner with the schools in Newcastle. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Within 10 minutes now. 2, 3. Thank you very much. Okay. Sheriff and guard now, as I call this school. This is a big moment. Presentation of check. I'm going to start with Bethel Gap Basic School, and we're going to ask our dear HR manager Angie to come and do the official presentation of the check to Bethel Gap. Yeah, up there. This is a check about $50,000 to Bethel Basic School. Put your hand together. Patrick, lift the check. No, yeah, lift the car to me. Yeah. You're hiding yourself. Yeah. Yeah, you can stay right. Yes. 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 Oh yeah. Next, Oberland Primary and Infant School. I'm going to ask our acting Director General to present that check to the principal of Oberland Primary and Infant School. Oh yeah. $100,000. The principal of Minto Primary Infant School to come and reply on behalf of the the schools. Put your hand together for our principal.
Our able chairman, principal, Woburn Lawn Primary and Bethel Gap Basic, distinguished guests, officers from JACRA, RADA, MOE, parents, friends, students, teachers, good afternoon. The task is mine to reply on behalf of our schools. In the late 19th century, an English noble family journeyed to Scotland for a summer vacation. One day, the son wandered off to the woods and came across an abandoned swimming hole. As he jumped in, he was seized by a vicious attack of cramps. He started crying for help. A boy in a nearby field heard his cry and ran to his rescue. The next day, the nobleman met with the youngster who saved his son to show his gratitude. The nobleman asked the boy about his future. The boy indicated that he guessed he will become a farmer like his father. However, he would love to be a doctor. His parents will not be able to afford such. The nobleman paid for all the boy's expenses to go to the medical school, and naturally this boy, Alexander Fleming, was successful. A few years later, a prominent British politician became very ill, and who saved his life? This very doctor that his father, Lord Rudolph Churchill, had invested in. I wish to say to JACRA today that you have invested in fertile soil. Give JACRA a clap, please. An investment in education is the greatest investment, and I assure you that the seed that you have planted today will be watered, nourished, and cared for. I am sure there is an Alexander Fleming in one of our schools who will certainly play it forward. On behalf of the three schools, we want to say a very big thank you for all that you have done. It is really appreciated, and this function proves that JACRA is truly committed to community development through partnership. Thank you. Can we stand and give JACRA another round of applause?
Thank you very much. Well done. Within 5 minutes, we will finish this program. And now, I'm going to ask Miss Morris to do the vote of thanks.
A round of applause.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm about to bring this function to a close.
Carson. I'm from Content. I'm a farmer and I'm also a coffee selector for the Mavis Bank Coffee Factory. The challenges that we are having is to find money to finance the coffee. If you sell one box of coffee, you cannot buy a bag of big fertilizer with it. It's $9,000 now for a box of coffee. And out of that, you cannot pay workers, you can't buy fertilizer, you can't do nothing for spray or anything for your coffee. So right now, we are see this it's going downhill more than going up. Because in order for coffee to go up, you have to have bucketive to maintain it. And we can't find that right now.
When you say bucketive, what exactly are you talking about? The support
Like
from government?
Support from government, support from the factory to buy like fertilizer and things to make the coffee get production get make your produce be more better. Because if you don't maintain it, if you don't spray and fertilize, when it's going down.
But tell me something though. When you're doing a business, normally you would have provide your own input. Why you depend
Yeah.
on the government assistance in this area?
Because the the rate at what you are getting for coffee now. If you sell one box of coffee, you cannot buy a bag of fertilizer. Plus you have to pay a men to work, you have to pay a picker, so it's just not enough.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Ready? I am Blossom Patterson from Mount Vernon Gap, Cedar Valley. We're having a big issue with coffee. We are farmers. We are getting only $8,000 every box for our coffee. When you get it, when the coffee just start, we have to float it. Sometimes it's light. Right? We can't even buy fertilizer. Fertilizer have $15,000 for one bag of fertilizer, you know. Right? So we are going to lock it down. We can't buy chemical, we can't buy fertilizer, nothing now grow. Right? We are asking Mr. Flight Green, the government, Minister of Agriculture, for looking at it. See what we do and can do one time, JACRA help we, and now nobody now help we. Coffee are dead out. We not even can buy sprayer, because it's so expensive. Right? And we plant with coffee that we can send the children to go to school. Do look at a farm and send the people to go to school and build up somewhere. We can't even save our money in our bank again. So it coming to if a person work with you, you have to give them $3,000 out of it. Sometimes you go out the truth here, you go to the army station with 2 boxes of coffee, one float out, or one at $8,000. That's bad. So we are asking the government to look at us. Okay?
Most challenges can't get workers to help on the farm. That's the biggest one. Then I can go further if I get help. Okay. I in Crosdale. What you say if you tell about? The road? You know, see the road is in a terrible condition, the farm road. We don't have any farm road. The coffee price gone down to ground and fertilizer is so expensive. I know not more to say.
So from Nescastle, St. Thomas, Cedar Valley, PO. Well, I'm a farmer who have a lot of coffee. Well, I appreciate how it going so far because I know that it's the worst. But I would mind them can come up more with more money on the product. But we keep plant and we keep working, so we accept a better time coming. And that is my sure and great love to TVJ as well.
Sir.
As a recipient of the $100,000
Right.
from JACRA, what are some of the crops that you will be focusing on?
Okay. We have what we call a school improvement plan. All schools in Jamaica are expected to have a school improvement plan. It is a 3 year plan to say what are some of the things that we want to have our school grow. One of the things that we're focusing on is agriculture. And in our school improvement plan, we have where we want to partner with different entities to have a model school garden. The $100,000 that we have received from JACRA is very, very incremental in us achieving this goal. We have heard in the presentation that they would want to have schools and different entities focusing on pimento farming. This community is one that has been known for planting the most excellent pimentos in Jamaica and maybe in the world. For the last couple of years, some of the farmers have been cutting down the trees for whatever reason. The school is nestled on a big plot of land, and we would really want to capitalize on the pimento farming. We also heard about coffee. We would also want to be involved in coffee farming as a school. As it regards to cash crops, that's something we'll want to have someone to look at the soil that we have here to see what crops are better to be farmed here. We are a school that is in the farming area. And there's no farming area school without an active farm with great products that can help to facilitate the canteen and the feeding program of the school. So that's our number one priority. And we're hoping that leading into Labor Day, we can have the various entities partnering with us to have a Labor Day project that involves starting our school garden. Thank you.
What challenges you have as it relates to the roads?
Okay.
Yeah.
So good afternoon. We're here today because of the handing over ceremony with JACRA, where they presented three of our Hill School with checks valuing up to a total of $250,000. We are really appreciative of this, and we are glad to see so many entities being in our school today. You would have noticed some of the challenges that we face as a mountainous school nestled in the Blue Mountain Valleys area of Newcastle. One of the major challenges we face is that of road. We are a rural school. We are classified as one of the schools that needs special needs as it regards to transportation. There's no public transportation in the area, which causes it to be difficult for the farmers and members of the community to get in and out. It would be great to see more attention be placed to the road. Since this year, we've had a tiny section of the road being repaired by the councillor candidate, who is now the councillor of the area since our last local government election, and is also the mayor of St. Thomas. So we want attention to be placed to the roads, and we are hoping that with an event such as this, where the hills are being highlighted and coffee, one of Jamaica's most important export products. Blue Mountain Valley is said to have the best coffee, not just in Jamaica, but in the world. The community of Newcastle contributes significantly to this gesture. So it would be good to see our roads being repaired. Thank you.
What's your name?
So I am Itina Williams, principal of Auburn Lawn Primary and Infant School. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. We're going to read Psalms 1. Psalms 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the